Woo!
What do you get when you cross an awkward silence with a terrible dad joke? Welcome back to the Wild Business Growth Podcast, presented by Hippo Direct. This is your place to hear from a new entrepreneur or innovator every single Wednesday morning who's turning wild ideas into wild growth. I'm your host, Max Branstetter, digital marketing dude at Hippo Direct, and you can reach me at max@hippodirect.com for help using your podcast as a marketing tool. This is episode number 68, and today's guests are Andrew and Pete. They are the funniest duo since sliced English muffins. They've also won several awards for what they do, and they specialize in helping small business owners and solopreneurs grow their business. They've been featured in Inc., Social Media Examiner, and even keynoted at Social Media Marketing World. They run a weekly YouTube show, which is just nuts, and they also run Atomic and Atomic Con, each regarded as one of the best programs and small business growth conferences in the entire UK. To give you a little glimpse of what Andrew and Pete will do for the sake of entertainment, they've had podcast guests on their show that they've made answer questions with their mouth full of water, and they've also launched fireworks indoors. So proceed with caution. Enjoy the show. Alrighty, we are here with Andrew and Pete from Andrew and Pete. I can't believe you guys. I mean, that's the first question. How the hell did you guys think of that name?
I mean, this is going to be the most creative podcast you've ever listened to, because that is just the kind of guys we are.
We are that creative.
You know, we had to change our names because daveandsteve.com was not available. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
No. Oh, well, you guys are clearly committed. But yeah, the creativity is just off the charts already. But no, seriously, Andrew and Pete, you guys are incredible. You're doing amazing things. There's seriously nobody else like you. You're so different. How are you guys doing today?
Thank you.
We're doing good. I'm actually battling a little bit of man flu. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah. So if he coughs a lot, our apologies. But we're glad to be here on the show. Can't wait to give you all some advice, help you out, and if anyone wants to follow up after with us, ask us some more deeper questions without Andrew coughing, then please do feel free to. But yeah, we're excited to write the show, so thank you for having us. Let's do it.
Of course. Yeah, my pleasure. Well, my pleasure for you, Pete. Sorry, Andrew, I can't believe you got sick for the show. It's unacceptable.
It was all the pressure.
I almost cancelled.
It is. So we are going to get into it. I do want to shout out first the fact that your guys' first book is Hippocampus, and we are, as a company, Hippo Direct. So this was destined, years ago. So
meant to be.
It absolutely meant to be. We'll get some hippos on the show next time. But before you guys became Andrew and Pete, when you were just a lonely Andrew and a lonely Pete, what were you guys up to?
Well, it's funny because we actually met where we were at university. So like before we were Andrew and Pete, we were just two university students getting drunk pretty much every night and getting through our degree.
Mm-hmm.
And then before that, we were like pubescent teenagers, I guess. So
you weren't Benjamin Button.
So we weren't up to much, I guess, is the short answer before we were Andrew and Pete.
Well, we met at university, and we decided we'd go at it for, being business partners. Andrew wanted to go live with his girlfriend in Newcastle, so we had to move all the way to Newcastle to start up this business. I decided to make that brave decision to be that third wheel to that relationship, and moved up there to Newcastle with Andrew and his girlfriend, and basically we just set up. So we haven't actually ever had a job. I've had a few temporary part-time things at university, but Andrew has literally never ever had a boss.
No.
Can you believe that?
I thought you were his boss, Pete. Am I getting this wrong?
You are getting that so wrong. You've got bad information, my friend. Bad information.
I'm just messing with you. But you guys, I think that speaks to you guys. Is you have so much fun with what you're doing that you don't even consider it a job.
But,
right, exactly.
So you okay, so Pete, when you were third wheeling, so you decide to move up there together. So a lovely trio, threesome there. So when did you decide that you're going to actually start a business together and you're going to actually figure out this world of content marketing that's constantly evolving?
All right. So we moved to Newcastle. We started up in business. And to be honest, for the first maybe 3+ years, we were trying to do so many things and we're so unfocused. And we didn't really know what we were doing. In fact, looking back, I literally don't know how we survived or made any money to literally live and eat. I have no idea.
Either.
So
I think it was a leftover student loan.
It was leftover student loan.
The only answer.
Yeah, I think it was. So basically, we didn't really do much. And then one day we decided to focus down on, at the time we don't do this now, but it was like graphic design and website design. We don't even do that anymore. But then we went and got networking, we did that kind of stuff. And then we started offering marketing advice and so forth. That's what we really wanted to do, marketing stuff. And then we went to an event over in America. And over there was some incredible people that we all look up to. And we realized, what the hell have we been doing? So we've spent all this time. We spent like a good few years going networking, building up our contacts. We had our own networking event. And at the same time we had our networking event, all these other people at this event in America that we went to just opened up our eyes, because at the same time they started a podcast or they started a YouTube channel and they're multimillionaires. And we were like, oh man, we've got a networking event. Yeah. And they with 40 people, and they've got 40,000 listeners or viewers on their content every month or every week. And we suddenly thought, maybe this is what we should do.
Yeah.
And so we started on our content journey, basically. So that's when we started doing blogging. We did all this crazy stuff, and it didn't work. Woohoo! and I'm pretty sure everyone has felt that listening to this podcast. You might want to just raise your hand if you're listening, in the car or on the way,
we're not on a webinar.
Walking, just mentally raise your hand if you have blogs and videos.
Nobody crash. Okay, media. Nobody crash.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Doing all the things, and just not getting any results. Everyone's been there, and it's a struggle. And so for a long time, we preached about how we can make our content better so that we get results. Because for us, it was almost like an overnight shift of, okay, this is boring content that doesn't do anything for us, to let's step this up a notch and make some amazing content. Mm-hmm. And that really, really helped. And being more strategic with it, it all really helped. But then we started to look at the deeper issues as to why content wasn't really working that much for people. And we started to realize that they just didn't have time for content, didn't have time to invest in their business even, never mind to create content. And not only just good content, but great content, remarkable content that gets shared. Mm-hmm. And so after a few years of thinking about marketing and helping people with their content, what we now actually help people with it is growing their business. And there's a lot of foundational things that people just aren't doing to help give them that time back. And what we find is a lot of people are just kind of all over the place. They're a little bit unfocused. They've got no time to work on the business. They're just working in the business for clients. And they're really struggling to actually take the business to where they need it to be. And they're just overwhelmed, just doing too much. Working nights, working weekends. And we get told that, we have to hustle. And I don't think that's true. Hustling, it gets a lot done. We need to put in the work, put in the effort. But we don't need to hustle till we burn out. And this is kind of the message we're spreading a little bit more at the moment. It's all about that focus and having that confidence to do the high impact things in business. So I don't know if that's answered your question, but in a really long way.
Wasn't the question what were you before you were Andrew and Pete?
Yeah,
you just gave us the whistle stop tour.
Yeah, I fell asleep for the past few minutes, but
just tell me to shut up. Yeah.
No, seriously, thank you, Pete. I'm sure everyone is still raising their hand, but But no, it's really jokes aside. We're never going to be able to get through this because we're just going to be cracking jokes the entire time. Jokes aside, it's so cool that you guys teamed up and you have a really, really powerful mission behind what you do. And I think anybody, even those who are still raising their hand, can get behind growing your business. So let's talk about that. And I want to zero in on small businesses because I know you work with a ton of small businesses. We work with a ton of small businesses. In general, when you're taking a look at all these different tactics and tools and ways to grow, what would you say is the single best way to grow your business?
Okay, so one of the things that we did recently, and we've been teaching all of our members to do this as well, and it's kind of been blowing their minds and they've been getting great successes with it, is stop trying to do everything when it comes to trying to grow your business. So we looked at all of our different income streams must have been coming up to a year ago now.
Yeah.
And we realized we were trying to do too much, right? We had this membership that we were trying to run, Atomic. We had our conference, Atomicon. We were writing more books. We were doing speaking. We had one-to-one clients. We were doing stuff with brands. We were doing, what else? I feel like there's definitely one more. Affiliate, there we go. Like all these
one-to-one consultancy.
Yeah, like all these different things that people tell you to do. It's like all these different things are great. We should all do this. It's going to grow our business. But what it was actually doing was just detracting us away from the area of our business that is actually going to make us the most money. So one task that we did is we actually mapped out all of our income streams. Like we worked out how much money every single month we were making from every single thing. And then we extrapolated it over the next 5 years. And we kind of based it on, okay, if we absolutely smash these income streams and do like as well as we could possibly do with these income streams, which one in 5 years' time is making us the most money every single month? And it's probably like one main one or one or two main ones that are going to make you the most money. And yet right now, on day zero, we're spreading ourselves across all these different things. So like in that moment, we realized, you know what? Like, let's not write another book this year.
Yeah.
Let's stop trying to do as many speaking gigs as we can do.
Yeah.
Let's stop chasing like all this affiliate stuff. And let's just focus on what is actually got the potential to make us the most money, which for us was our membership and our conference. And we actually combined them both. So we actually put the conference into the membership. So we're just selling one thing that can make us the most potential money. And we're just putting 100% effort behind growing the one thing that has the most potential.
Yeah. And then, so you're talking about Atomic and then the conference behind it, Atomicon, correct?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's right. So well, basically, they were head and shoulders above everything else that we offer. So, like, why would we spend 1/7 of our time or 1/9 of I think we had 9 income streams and 9 different services or something. Like, why would we spend only 1/9 of our effort and resource and budget and mind and mental energy on the thing that's actually going to make us the most amount of money compared to everything else? And all these other things help make money, but they don't have the impact. And what we see a lot of people doing is they'll have all these different services because they think that they need to offer all these different things to please everybody. And what it in fact does is dilute the message, it dilutes their efforts, and it dilutes their income.
Especially if you don't have like a huge team around you, or even if it's just you, it's like impossible to do all the things that people tell us to do.
And we're not saying that in the future we can't do more of these things, but you need to get each one of these income streams to a place where it's successful, it's happy, and you don't have to do any more on it for it to keep running itself.
Yeah.
And that's the place when you can start adding new things. Otherwise, you are just spreading yourself too thin.
Yeah, I think that's an important distinction there. Okay, so if you have one big thing that you're focused on, and for you it's an Atomic thing, what about all these other things? I mean, do you decide just to not do them anymore, or do you hire or outsource them to somebody to help out? How do you figure those things out?
I think it depends on your business and how it's running. For us, we literally just got red. So we just told all of our one-to-one clients that we weren't continuing that service anymore. To be honest, most of them joined Atomic or were already members of Atomic. So that was kind of fine. And then we just stopped to do the rest. So like we just stopped accepting speaking gigs. We just stopped accepting books. We just stopped writing our book. I mean,
You guys just stopped being so fun and interesting.
yeah. And we just said no to more things that were coming our way. And like that seemed scary, but we were basing it on a gut feeling. Like we were basing it on what the data had already told us, like the current data of where our money was coming from and where it could come from in the future. And so like making sure that the data kind of supports what you're going to decide to do is a really important way to actually, for it not to be too scary, to make those decisions and give you a bit more confidence to do that.
Sorry, I think a lot of people do make big decisions based on gut feelings and reactions rather than actual data. I know someone who we were talking to recently, they were going into this niche and they knew this niche was really good for them, and they had 2 clients already in this niche. And what happened was they got rejected by some clients, and they just suddenly decided that, you know what, like I shouldn't go into this niche. And so they spent months faffing on, not really doing anything because they were unconfident. Whereas actually, if they were to just, you know, jig themselves down and just like shake it off and go back at it and double down on that niche, they would actually have a really successful business. And they've been able to do that if they have the confidence. And sometimes we make these brash decisions or big decisions based on nothing more than just like gut feelings or emotion. And we need to start switching that around. Like we've all heard that quote that purchasing decisions are 80% emotion, 20% logic. Well, that's how we feel most business owners are making decisions in their business. It's all based on emotion. And that is going to lead to a business that isn't as successful as it could be. Like, yes, we need to take that into account, the emotion side of things. Is this what we want to do? Does this make us happy? But at the same time, we don't just want to say, no, I don't want to do that anymore because I got rejected once, you know? Or can I niche into this? Or should I drop this service? Or should I start this new service based on nothing more than just, hey, this might be a good idea. Let's do that.
Which is exactly how I start my day. So, so something that you guys have taken an analytical approach to, as you mentioned, is deciding to go all in on this membership community. So I'm curious, what tips do you guys have for creating a community like this in the first place?
Oh, okay. And we made all the mistakes at first. So we're not on a high horse here because
you guys got to stop hogging so many mistakes.
Yeah, I don't think people should actually do it like us. So we launched our membership probably way too early. We weren't really ready for it. And we launched it and we thought like 1,000 people would join in like the first half an hour when it was open. Where in fact, maybe like 10 people joined in the first week.
Hey, you got to double digits. Yeah.
Great. We've got like this membership and now we're making like a couple of £100 from a month. And now, wow, we've got all this work to do for a couple of £100. Oh, this was such a good idea. Why didn't we do this sooner? That was kind of... So I think sometimes memberships are preached as a way to solve financial problems. And they're a great way to make a ton of money, where memberships are a ton of hard work. Like it is a lot of hard work, and they're probably not going to make you as much money as you think to start with, at least. So when we've helped other people launch memberships and do more scalable products, we've always tried to get them to get to a stable place financially first, where they can maybe take some time or start outsourcing some of the more one-to-one stuff first, to give them time to actually grow that membership. It's almost like a tipping point there. I wish we had done that. And then to actually, once you have the membership though, we've just been really, really thoughtful about how we are making it just the best experience possible for the members.
Yeah.
Because it's a community, right? So it's no good just us knowing them and them knowing us. Like everyone has to know everyone. And the more we've tried to get everyone knowing everyone, whether that's hosting like in-person meetups, doing the conferences part of that, whether that's getting everyone on a big Zoom call so everyone can see each other's eyes, that kind of thing. Even just like encouraging people to share wins in the group and having that as part of the experience. Like, right, let's all share the best wins that we've had this week. Like, the more we do that, and the more we make sure people know each other and actually like each other, I think the membership has gone from strength to strength.
Yeah, because like if you want to focus on these high impact things in your business, it's really tough to do, and it's new stuff to do. Because if you want to grow your business, you're going to have to do things that you've never done before. That's a fact. Because if you keep doing the same old thing, you'll get the same old results, right? So basically, you're going to have to start doing new things to grow your business, which is uncomfortable. You don't know if it's going to work. You're going to be unconfident. And all these things lead to procrastination, which is why a lot of people fail. They just don't do anything. Or they do a lot of low impact things, keeping themselves busy. And this is the kind of mindset we want to switch with our program, Atomic. And having the community is a huge part of that, because if you don't have the people there, like supporting you, keeping you to account, encouraging you, saying that you can do it, helping you overcome those not only confidence issues, but also, like tech issues as well.
Yeah.
And you're going to really, really struggle. So that's a huge part.
Yeah. A lot of people also think like memberships are like one-to-many. Like one-to-many is kind of the dream. But I don't know. In our experience, it's not like that really either, because like if you want the community to know each other, and especially as you're growing it, like a lot of the things that we've done have been unscalable, but we can outsource them. Like, for example, when people join, we send handwritten postcards. Well, our community manager sends everyone a handwritten postcard, which is not one-to-many. That is very much a one-to-one thing.
Yeah.
But like just those little touches just make the experience all that better.
Yeah.
Yeah. The in-person connection makes such a big difference there.
Hey, like one final third thing, you asked for 3 things.
Did he ask for 3 things?
Yeah, you said
I think you're just making up numbers, but go ahead.
I'm gonna chip in because this came to me and thought, yeah, that needs to be said.
Say it then.
Okay. Well, when we first launched, again, we launched based on a hunch and what we thought people wanted and what would work, rather than following the demand. And this is a huge issue because for a long time we were trying to sell something that didn't work and people didn't want. And that was a huge issue. So if you're going to sell anything, especially a membership, you need to make sure there's like a lot of demand for it already. And people are literally willing to pay for it.
Mm-hmm.
And it goes the same for your services. If you're struggling to sell something, you need to have a hard look as to whether it's something people really want. And that's like a hard truth to face. And it's something we've had to like check ourselves for and tweak and realign. And we used to have Atomic used to be about content marketing, but selling content marketing advice is tough because we're basically selling really hard work. Like, hey, join our membership. We're going to give you loads of hard work to do. And eventually it'll pay off. That's no good. So like now it's about grow your business, like double your business and beyond in 6 months. Get time back in your business, all this kind of stuff. And that's what people ultimately wanted. So that came out of frustration for us. So if you're finding it hard to sell, like you need to think about, do people really want this? Can I tweak it? Can I realign it? Can I repackage it, reposition it? Should I just stop it? Basically. So yeah, something to think about.
Yeah. And then I want a 4th point. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, Andrew got 2. I should get 2. Okay, go on. Next question.
You guys don't need to fight to the death for it. So when you think back at your business, and clearly your community has really, really helped you, but what can you point to? Like, was there a specific moment or a specific action that you took that really took things to the next level, as opposed to you guys just kind of spinning in the marketing whirlwind and in the red?
Yeah, I think we have probably multiple moments all the time. And
probably 3.
Probably
just an uneven number.
Can I have 1.5 examples, please?
1.5 examples. All right. Okay. I'll try to give you 1.5 examples. I think probably the first is way back when when we first started, like fresh out of university, and we were trying to do it all, and we weren't making any money. So then we stopped. Like, we had a t-shirt business. We were trying to launch like a good news site. We had like loads of other side hustles, and we had like this website company. And when we stopped all the crap and we just focused on growing this website company, and just that realization of, oh my God, like we were spreading ourselves way too thin, not like within a business, but across multiple businesses. That was probably the first realization moment. I think the second realization moment was probably when we got out to the States for the first time. I think we had been very stuck in our kind of local community and ecosystem of how business operates that way. And we thought, like, our eyes just pinged open. Like, we didn't even get out of Newcastle, really.
No.
Like, I think that our first event was actually in the States over even like Manchester. And so, I think that opened our eyes. And then I'm going to pass over to Pete, because I know we know now he gets annoyed if I take all the points.
So for the half idea,
I cannot wait.
Okay. You cannot sell one thing to 1,000 people if you cannot sell one thing consistently to one person. So when we were doing
that doesn't sound like a moment. No. That sounds like a bit of advice.
It's okay. We'll let it slide.
what we realized, this came from a moment.
It did.
So when we realigned Atomic to be not content but more on this growth side of things, we struggled to sell it temporarily, because we were just trying to sell it to everyone, like, hey, this is this new thing. But it's tough because, like, you're basing it on gut decision, and how many people here have just wrote sales emails and social posts and tried to sell to people based on what you think might sell. Like, pretty much everyone's going to be raising their hand again right now. You know? Don't crash.
Oh.
What we realized was we got told by one of our mentors to just get on the phone and call people and try and sell it to them. Not cold calling, but, reaching out to warm people in our email list, and just having a chat with them and figuring out and just pleasantly asking them, like, why didn't they join for research purposes? And we found out so much gold dust. It was ridiculous. And it was like insane. And now, after doing all those sales calls, like, we've been able to get our sales process down so much better. We know exactly what to say to make people, or to get people over the line and join. And all the objections we can now handle because we've taken that effort. Like, we did a lot of calls. We did like maybe 60, and like the first 30 were very hit and miss, quite bad. But then after every one, we got better and better and better. And the last 30 sales calls, like, I signed them all up. And like last week, we had like 120 new members join because we know exactly what to say. And so, and not only do we know what to say, but we know how to help them when they are in Atomic. And this is so much better for like the final result, like what they actually get, but also for us. And sometimes, like, going that extra mile, going slower, and putting in that work to find out what works will help you go 10 times faster in the long run.
Your conversion rate is incredible. So that's an amazing story. And you certainly over-delivered on the 1/2 example.
Well, I mean, what was that?
That was only half the story. I could go on.
So you finally decide to start a podcast. Congrats! You've never been more excited. But wait a sec. You quickly find out this is way more of a time commitment than you initially thought. You're going to need someone that has you covered behind the scenes. That's where I come in. Email me at max@hippodirect.com and let's get wild. So let's switch gears a little bit. We're going to get to a segment on inspiration and creativity.
Okay.
So, and what I love about you guys is everything, when you...
Everything. Thank you.
Yeah, well, I'll just stop right there, edit it out. But everything you guys put out and everything tied to your brand is so fun and also so different. Like you're really not like anybody else out there. So I'm really curious. Okay. Of course. I mean, when you're giving me half examples like that, but I'm curious, what do you guys do to stay creative and to stay so different?
Oh, this is good. Okay, so part of this is out of frustration and boredom. Like we don't want to get bored, but also we see so many people churning out like the same old stuff, and it bores us, and that makes us scared. Because what if we're doing that? What if people are getting bored of us? And we would hate that. So we try and keep things fresh all the time, constantly trying to reinvent the wheel and add new things and be a little bit different and make sure we're not boring people. And one of the things we do is, obviously, we have each other. There's positives to that, and there's not positives to that.
Negatives.
Negatives.
It's all negative.
Like when he cuts you off like that, you know. But
all those non-positives.
For the creatives, I don't want to be negative. I don't like the word negative. But one of the best things about having like the two of us is that we get to throw ideas around all the time, and all of our best ideas come from me. And then
I believe it. Yeah.
I said that specifically when Andrew was taking a drink of water, so he couldn't come back.
Very strategic.
No, all our best ideas come from one of us spouting out a terrible idea, and the other person saying, that's terrible, but if we did X, Y, Z to it, or flip that around, or added this, it could work. And then the other person will go back and say, yeah, and then we could do this. And then it builds. And then by the end of it, we've got this cool idea. Now, not all cool ideas should be done. Like, you need to keep focused, all right? However, this is one of the best ways to get creative and have some ideas. And what we highly recommend to people is having like a business buddy to bounce ideas off all the time, because that's what you need for good ideas. So many people come to us or post in the group like with an idea, and then by the end of people like supporting and encouraging and saying, what about this? And all these other perspectives, then you get a really great idea.
Yes.
Yeah, it's amazing.
That's my 2 cents. Yeah.
And you agree.
Yeah, I'm going to put that. We're going to put it. I might buy a billboard actually and just put it in quotes. Yes.
Yes. I think that'd be good. I think that'd be really inspirational.
I think so. Probably a wise investment. So I'm curious as well. So, okay, so you guys get tons of ideas off of each other, whether positive or negative. And that could be both inside and outside of work. But how about outside of work from the hobby standpoint? What do you guys like to do in your free time to kind of take a break from everything else you're doing at work?
I love Netflix personally. It's really good.
Never heard of it.
I have 2 dogs.
Yeah.
So I love to get outside. I love reading fiction. Anything fictional to me is really, really inspirational and creative. And almost getting ideas from outside of your industry, I think, is really important. And I think looking at the fictional world sometimes is a really great way to, even when it comes to like design, sometimes I'll see like a really cool movie poster and think no one would ever do that for like their business event. Like, why doesn't our business conference look like a movie poster when we start designing this? And I'll take it back to Pete and he'll be like, we can't design that. And I'll be like, yes, we can. And you will. And
then I'll look out the window and I'll see the billboard out the window that says yes. And I'll think, I can do that. So that billboard works. So literally we have in our office like a movie scene style poster of all our Atomicon speakers looking the bomb.
Yeah.
It looks pretty good, to be fair.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Probably better at doing extracurricular stuff than me.
Yeah, like
really?
I take loads of classes, like cooking classes. I've taken like a DJing course. I'm a qualified massage therapist.
That comes in so handy at the office.
I was hoping to
nice fun there.
On nice like girlfriends and so forth, but no, it's just Andrew.
I had such a sore neck this morning.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
So that came in useful for me. I wish
Wow.
I didn't do that. But what else? I did an improv comedy course. Yeah, loads of stuff.
Oh my God. So you just clearly don't sleep then. So those are all amazing things, and they're all very different things. Which of those would you say you enjoy the most and that really takes you to another place?
Massaging me?
No.
Well, that's the obvious first choice.
Yeah.
Second choice.
Other than that, I don't know. I get carried away with the DJing. Like, I don't do it all that much anymore, but when I do, like, I just kind of like lose hours and hours. So that's fun. That's good to have it. Having something where you can just de-stress and just relax and do something fun. It's necessary. It's like, if you're gonna, it's people work too much. So and the brain is constantly on, especially as a solopreneur, for a small business owner. You've got so many responsibilities, and the work never stops. Especially if you work from a home office, it's so easy to just nip into the office at night and do some more work. And so having something that will take you away from that is great. And the whole purpose of working less and achieving more is so that you can do something fun. Like, the absence of work will be filled with more work if you don't have something that you really want to replace that time with, whether that's traveling or music or like spending time with the family, whatever it is. So it's actually not just fun. It doesn't just help your creativity, but it's absolutely necessary to stop you from burning out.
Pete, you are my guru.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes. Well, I would hope you would say some nice things to him with how great of a miss.
Exactly. He pays me very well.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, good to hear. No, I completely agree. It's really important to. It's not just from a creativity standpoint, but just mentally. You need something to mix it up there. And Pete, I don't think I've ever heard anybody who's up to as many fascinating classes and different hobbies as you are. So we'll give you the fictional award here.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. It's not all at once, just so you know.
Oh, okay. I clearly got the wrong idea there.
Can you imagine the improv comedy massage DJ course?
With food?
Yeah, with food.
Yeah.
That would be good.
So let's get to a fan favorite segment here. This is the Wild Business Shout Out of the Week.
The Wild Business Shout Out of the Week!
Wow.
A harmonica solo.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, it was actually, it was Paul McCartney's harmonica. So anyway, Wild Business Shout Out of the Week. That's not a true story. Wild Business Shout Out of the Week. This is where we talk about a recent campaign or brand that caught our attention. And there's something about another dynamic duo from your area that you mentioned earlier. Do you mind talking about Knowlton Marketing?
Yeah, we're going to shout out, we call them our frenemies because they're kind of our friends. Well, they are our friends. We could call them friends.
But they're also our mortal enemies because they're just too good. And sometimes, they make us look bad and they're almost as good as us sometimes. So,
yeah,
it's keep us on our toes.
It's like there can only be one marketing duo that create hilarious marketing videos, and that's us.
Yeah.
But if there was a second one, then it would be Dan and Lloyd from Knowlton Marketing. And they recently rebranded. They were called KPS Digital Marketing, which isn't the best name in the world, is it? And I think they realized that.
No, it's not.
I think it's number one, yeah.
Yeah.
It's almost as bad as Andrew and Pete.
I mean, yeah.
Who the hell would use that name?
I mean, yeah, who would? So now, so when they rebranded to Knowlton, they did like this whole campaign about how they came up with the name Knowlton, which is their last names, by the way.
Yeah.
And it was
Come on, guys.
And there was like multiple funny videos on Facebook. They did lots of like spoof. How are we going to announce this? Like, should we get a plane to fly over? Should we do the cheesy music video-esque reveal? What else did they have?
They just loads and loads of stuff. They did a spoof one about how Dan wanted to just call the business Dan. And the whole video was like behind the scenes of Lloyd getting gradually more and more annoyed at Dan. He was like in the background, like on the phone, like answering the phone, like, hey, you've reached Dan from Dan. like, how can we help you today? And like Dan gets this big fake sign, and it's hilarious. And then Dan's saying to the camera that it was his idea to call it Knowlton, and it was his first idea.
And I think like even though it's really fun and kind of funny and kind of silly, it works for those guys because like we've talked to them about this and the kind of videos they do, and they get inquiries all the time from like it's usually bigger businesses and brands that want to do social video a lot better than they're already doing, and they see Dan and Lloyd's videos and they're almost jealous of the quality of them, and they hire them to do them for them. And I think that kind of content is almost weeds out all the clients that are going to have nothing to do with you and just get like boring corporate videos created, but attracts the ones that Dan and Lloyd really want to work with.
Yeah, funner brands.
Yeah, and it shows them a little bit of the personalities as well.
It does. Yeah, helps you trust them more. Like they can clearly do what they say they do, and they're fun. So why wouldn't you choose them?
Right. Yeah. And I think, and obviously you guys nail this too. You guys a little bit better than them, but you guys nail this as well. It's just when you instill your personality into your brand, it can just make a world of difference there. And there's so many people that kind of, if you look from a distance, they all market the same way, or they all have the same sort of general messaging or mission. But when you do anything to make it different and entertaining, and I'm cracking up just listening to you guys talk about these videos. So I'm really excited to check them out myself.
You should check them out.
Yeah,
that was actually another moment. We could add in another moment.
Oh my God.
We could maybe make that like 4.5.
You can have 3 moments, and I'm gonna have 1.
Yeah, I'm gonna moment, because like Pete said earlier, we did start doing content and social, and it was like really boring, to be honest. I mean, we got nowhere with it when we first started. And like offline at these networking events we were running, we were like these 2 fun young guys, and we were like 22 at the time, and we were just like had no inhibitions whatsoever when we went to these networking events. But online, we were writing these like ridiculously boring blogs about social media, and it was like, what's this a complete disconnect here? And as soon as we started doing video and putting just our personalities into what we look like online, that's when like things got really exciting for us. That's when we actually started getting clients from content that we were creating. I mean, who would have thought it? Like,
I know.
Like, what the hell?
Getting our first comments.
Yes.
Clients, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and to think you could have just renamed the company Dan and all would be okay.
I mean, missed the trick.
Yeah.
Dan.com, though, that's expensive.
Yeah. Oh, it's got to be. So let's get to a segment called The Unusual. So try to be as I know it's hard, but try to be as unusual as possible here.
Ooh.
You got all right.
That was a good start.
All right. So that was the section called Unusual. So no. Oh my God. So you guys can answer in any order you want. But first thing here, what's your biggest pet peeve?
Biggest pet peeve? Waiting. I am the most impatient person in the world. I don't like waiting. Before this interview, I went to fill up my bottle full of water, and the guy at the water machine filled up his cup, drank it at the water machine, and filled it up again.
Oh no.
I almost punched him.
All right. Well, good thing that's almost. But wow. Yeah, that's.
I know.
I mean,
could you tell like how passionate I am about that? I mean,
I feel like I just got punched by you.
Yeah. You drank it really slowly as well.
That would piss anybody off. I don't blame you. How about you, Pete?
Do I get a go?
Oh, you can have got
Okay.
Yeah. We'll let you have one this time.
This is tough. I haven't prepared this. Maybe people complaining on Facebook.
Oh,
that annoys me. It's like just
Pete's quite chill, you know. Pete doesn't get annoyed easily. I get annoyed way easier than Pete.
It's like just let it go. It just makes you look bad. Like,
Right.
Just don't do it.
I'm totally with you. How about so we'll start with you, Pete. How about quirks? Something that is really quirky about your personality, and maybe somebody like Andrew or somebody else calls you out for, but it's part of your personality. It's who you are.
We should maybe call these out on each other.
I'm gonna say, like,
Oh,
what
yeah.
would be mine?
What would be yours? What would be your quirk?
We'll do like a match game thing. Yeah.
Oh no, there is one. You know what? We've known each other so long, I almost forget.
Oh my god, I feel really self-conscious
No.
all of a sudden.
What was?
Oh.
Oh,
What are you gonna say?
he is very particular about everything. Like if he has a way to do something,
Oh yeah.
like
Yeah,
it
that's
cannot be
true.
done in any other way. Like for example,
Oh,
he
yeah.
knows the quickest way to do anything on his computer. Like he'll know the shortcut to open up a new tab. And if I dare like move the mouse and click on the new tab button on Chrome, Pete's like, that's not the way to do it.
It's like,
do
you know,
it
you can just
this
press
way.
like Command Tab, like Command T.
Yeah.
Like, it's too much quicker. Come on, you're Mr. Impatient. Just press Command T. Why are you using the mouse? Yeah, no, that does wind me up because I have to sit there and watch him. So it's like I have to sit there watching him do the long version. Like that's wasting my life away. Just learn the quicker way. That's yeah. So that maybe that's my
I
quirk.
think that is a quirk.
Absolutely.
I don't know what your quirk is. Andrew's perfect, you
There we
see.
go.
So I have to
He's
say
just-
that, otherwise, you know.
That might be his quirk. He's just too perfect.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he really is. Yeah.
I'll take that.
Okay.
I'm not going to argue.
Not a bad one. How about?
No, you wouldn't, because you're perfect.
Oh my god! Wow. All right. Cool. We'll get like someone playing the harp in the background or something. How about weird talents? Is there anything? So Pete, you have a ton of talents based on how you spend your night at every one of these different classes. But
I can
what's
draw.
something you can draw?
I can draw really well. Yeah.
Really?
I can write terribly, but I'm a really good drawer. Yeah.
There we go. That comes in handy. How about you, Andrew?
I have a secret talent. I don't think I.
Oh, Andrew can remember the lyrics to songs that he's heard once, like
yeah.
5 years ago.
It just comes back.
It's
to me.
ridiculous.
See, I don't
Really?
think that's a talent. I think most people can do that.
No, they can't.
You know, like a really old song that you grew up with,
Can you give us an example?
like Avril Lavigne, like any of Avril Lavigne's earliest songs.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna hold you to it. Which song?
Like complicated. Like if that came on the radio, I'm pretty sure. Like the song has to be playing though. Like if the song's playing on the radio, it just all comes back to me. And I can sing
That's
the
not
whole-
playing in your head all the time anyway.
It's not playing. Well, maybe that's my quirk.
You like
Maybe I would take-
Taylor Swift?
Yeah. Oh my god. All right. Well, only a little bit of time left. Would love to wrap up with some rapid fire Q&A. Are you guys ready for it?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
We'll take one each.
All right.
Okay.
Let's get wild. Maybe 1.5 each. Uh, Pete,
Yes.
what is your favorite style of music to DJ?
Oh, dance music, 100%.
Okay. Any specific type of dance? I know there's like so many different genres within dance now.
Just any kinds of dance music. Yeah,
Mm.
any kind. I'm going to Vegas for my birthday to
Ooh.
a dance festival. It's gonna be awesome.
You got to get a residency there. That's the next step.
Yeah, totally.
No,
Just-
but that's amazing.
And Pete.
Oh my god.
This is the quickest quickfire round
Come on,
I've
next
ever been
question.
part
Yeah.
of.
Yeah, no, this is well, I know you guys do slow fire. So okay, so Andrew, we'll call it Andrew End. How about fiction? What is your favorite fictional book or movie?
Oh, I'm a big fan of anything Michael Connolly. That's my favorite fictional book. I think my favorite one is The Poet.
Mm. I
Okay.
don't read
I like
fictional
really
books.
dark crime books.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Way to
Thinks
keep it
he's
positive.
Judge Judy. He thinks he's Judge Judy. I tell you.
No, that stuff is fascinating.
That's
Yeah.
another quirk, actually.
Yeah.
Like, I have a huge Judge Judy crush. Like, Judge Judy is my everything.
That's the most beautiful thing I've ever heard. And then this one, you guys just shout it out, both of you, whatever you think of first. Besides yourselves, who's your favorite dynamic duo? 1-2 punch.
Oh,
It would
God.
be the Norton brothers or Mike and Callie, maybe.
I was going to say Anton Deck,
Anton
but
Deck,
Anton Deck is
yeah.
probably not known to most of your listeners.
Sure.
What is it? Anton Deck?
Anton Deck are like, any British person thinks Anton Deck are like as good as the Queen. It's like the Queen, Anton Deck, and famous Brits to
Mhm.
British people, but
Yeah.
they just haven't made it across the pond somehow.
No.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm learning something new today, but
There we
I know
go.
you guys got to run, but thank you so much. You guys are amazing. You guys are hilarious, but literally my stomach hurts.
So
Yeah, this has been really fun.
coming
This
on.
has been a really fun interview.
And I
Yeah.
hope some people took some takeaways, like, the yes on the billboard, like,
It's a
you can
great
do
idea.
this.
You can do this, guys.
Anybody can do that.
Mhm.
Yeah, but where's the best place for people to connect with you?
Awesome. AndrewandPete.com is our website. Our YouTube channel is where we create content. You can get to that by going to andrewandpete.tv.
That's it. Boom.
Perfect. Awesome. All right. And then last thing, final thoughts, stage is yours. It could be a quote. It could be a line. It could be an entire album from Avril Lavigne. Anything you want. Send it to me.
Yes.
Life's like this.
Just that.
That was Andrew and Pete from Andrew and Pete. Thank you, Andrew and Pete, for making it so complicated. And thank you, wild listeners, for tuning in to another episode. If you are in the mood for more wild stories like this, make sure to subscribe to this podcast on your favorite app and leave us a 5-star written review on Apple Podcasts. You can also go swimming in insight for days or even hours or minutes on hippodirect.com/blog and hippodirect.com/newsletter. That newsletter is the Hippo Digest and is your place for wild marketing ideas every single week. And of course, come connect with us on social media on your favorite platforms at the handles Hippo Direct and Max Branstetter. We will respond to you unless you explicitly request that we don't respond to you, in which case we will not. Until next time, let your business run wild.
Bring on the bongos!